However, Needles going to be a good stop to really kind of thwart and at least kind of throw Ken for a loop, right? And when he's going, if he goes for more of a spin-based offense, so let's see if he can challenge that.
Right.
But this first game is going to be a really good determinant of really who's going to take the step.
Right. Yeah. I feel like you're totally right that Needles is going to be pretty important here, and it's also just like how good is WebbJP's like offense when it comes to like keeping that advantage state, right? I feel like Ken has done such a good job like staying away from any potential like threats at the ledge, and also just like throwing out all those like forward smashes and willing to like actually change the tempo, because I'm not used to seeing Ken play a little bit aggressive and go for like these rogue up smashes.
All right, Charles here. We're replacing Haz real quick. Shout out to Haz. He actually covered my blog. I was supposed to be in the beginning. Kind of suspect that he took the one match that was like the most hype.
Yeah, very strange. And left
he was very generous to take the
no problem.
AK.
Anytime, Chuck. Anytime.
What a guy.
Welcome to this set, Chuck.
But don't worry, I'll come in here for the Sheik Sonic.
Best guy has.
This matchup, I think, is actually good for Sheik. I think Sheik wins. You just have to play very defensively, but I think Webb has incredible defense. We saw that against Akola, right? So I think Webb could do a really good job here against him.
Yeah. Fabled timeout Sheik.
I mean, if you choose to not interact with Sheik, Sheik can punish characters that don't want to interact with her, right? And I think that's the main thing. You don't have to play Sheik like that, but there's going to be certain matchups where characters are incentivized to not interact, right?
For sure, and you know the hardest part is keeping that up for 7 minutes in a best of 5. So if Webb is really built like that, to go up against a Sonic player who played the last game timing people out, who played this game timing people out, then I'll be very impressed with him. I mean, not that I haven't been already.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I feel like Ken also just has been pretty good at being aggressive when he needs to be too, right? Like, normally we wouldn't see him go for like forward smashes at the ledge or even try to call out anything when you're falling on top of him other than like a true confirmed. There's something right there, but Ken not able to find the follow-up for that back air.
Oh yeah, especially Sonic Nair into whatever you want, imagination, right? You can go back air, forward smash, and a lot of percentages here. Tries to get the grab, the dash attack, not going to cross up, so the grab not going to connect here. A lot of scrambles, but the Needle's able to break it up.
All right, good step back there. The Webb going to find the dash attack, and that's going to close out that stock. Only at 100%. See, yep, going to go back throw, potential edge guard. No, we're going to stay back here. Just go let track bear. Yeah, trying to catch out that full hop. Not going to get it.
I think having something to beat Spin Dash, like a transcendent projectile, is obviously just so huge against Sonic.
Very big deal.
Yeah, if Webb can play the stock lead basically infinitely, then he's looking good. Such a huge victory to get the first kill here.
You guys remember when like Sheik Needles would stay on the stage, right, and it act like an item and you can actually hit it?
Oh yeah.
Imagine if like imagine if you still had that in this game and Spin Dash just gets stopped by it.
That'd be crazy.
Alright, just gonna teleport to the ledge, get off of the jump, and it's back to Needle time, baby.
Yeah.
Now that Webb is at too high of a percent for these Spin Dash confirms, by the way, taking stock is gonna be hard. Ken with the mix-up off the ledge, Spin Dash to turn himself around, back air to kill.
Nice. Great up tilt right here from WebbJP. But nice reversals from Ken. Ken is really pushing buttons right here.
Well, and especially in this matchup, a lot of Sonic players don't find themselves having to run offense without Spin Dash, right? Needles forces you to have to be a little bit more creative with your offense, right? And I mean, in terms of like how great Spin Dash is, oh man, the Needles right into the up smash. That is going to be a huge confirm, a huge lead here. And now Ken in another situation where he has to run the offense, but Needles is going to cancel out the Spin Dash with the spin charge, so you got to try other things.
Yeah, no, really phenomenal stuff. Like you said, man, that really forces a lot of Sonics to go into a run-based, game plan, which is really strong in its own right as well. And we've seen that from Sonics and everyone, but a lot of times, a lot of Sonics are just so accustomed to playing a spin-based style. So once you're able to knock that down, they have a hard time. But Ken, trying to make it happen here, getting some damage, not too far away, despite the kind of overall, always kind of coming from behind. But hey, we're seeing the stuff here from WebbJP. Wow. Good jab. Had the opportunity here on the right side of the ledge, trying to get a drag down on that aerial spin charge. I actually like the fact that he was going for that, because that shows that he's aware that that doesn't have any intangibility when it's airborne.
Right. Sheik also just being a much quicker character on the ground too. Not quicker than Sonic, of course, but being able to at least chase him down and force that like edge situation is so good.
Oh, he wanted to grab the ledge. That would have been so much advantage for him, having a grenade to keep Sonic busy and that ledge invincibility. But that said, it's Ken in control of the stage. Not for long.
Wow.
Webb. Oh, my God.
Not center.
Not yet.
Sonic is light, though, which is another great thing for Sheik. Like, just dash tag, KOing Sonic at, like, 140, 150. That's a big deal,
That
right?
really?
Oh, yeah. And then Bounty Fish
God.
center stage, yeah.
That's crazy.
There's so many times where Sheik, or the opponent of Sheik being heavy really is a thorn in Sheik's side, right? Just having to get that one final hit. But against Sonic is one only weakness is the weight, right?
Yeah, and it's not even that bad, honestly. Isn't he,
It's not.
like barely lighter than Martha Lucina?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of crazy, man. This character's got it all, but Webb has a game plan against it, really centered around those needles. If you can force Sonic to have to interact with you, that's when he's going to start losing those interactions. And look at that, the ledge pop needles, a reversal to find a kill.
Dude, look at that.
At what was he, 89 before the needles?
That's crazy.
Webb is so good
88.
at getting these like air-to-air situations too. Like getting dragged down up air, and that has to be like mad preemptive. You jump, you do the up air, and then fast fall. Like you have to wait for them to actually reach you before you actually execute anything.
Yeah, fortunately that move is so active because of the multi-hits, right? So you do have that chance to kind of call people out, air-to-air them, and bring them down into a kill move. Webb, I think really what set him apart from all these other Sheik players is that he's so good at securing stocks.
Yeah.
And it's still hard for him.
Well, this almost reminds me of the last set we saw, right? AK versus Leo, where AK's playing the character where it's like, okay, I can chill back and do whatever, right? And then Joker comes through and it's like, well, actually,
no,
if you chill, right? If you chill too much, you're just gonna take damage from your own grenades because I'm gonna pop them, or I'm gonna get Rebel Guard down.
Yep, I'm gonna get Big Bro in.
Right, so Ken kind of put in that position where it's like, all right, well, I can't rely too much on my defense. I have to rely on my offense versus my opponent's defense.
Stuck on the ledge. Okay, Ken takes the percent lead off that as well. I know it's very slight and subtle, but it's still gonna come into play. It just means that Webb has to be on the chase.
Yeah.
Having that center platform will also help Ken a lot to avoid these like needles. But once you got him, once you have like that charge too, like you already know, like they can't really, you don't really have to think about too much about like, oh, okay, I'm in disadvantage right now, right? It's just like, okay, they have it now, I just have to go.
Yeah, you just gotta let go. And obviously there's gonna be these certain moments, right, where it's like, okay, did you charge enough needles, right? Do you have anything here? And if Ken sees WebbJP kind of sitting back and not really on those needles, then yeah, he's gonna pull the trigger. And you still always have to keep that in your game plan. Just because someone has a counter option, you can't immediately remove it. Oh, trying to chase here, no, not gonna get the secondary bear on the air dodge.
Ken just going side to side, content to make Webb have to keep following him and put himself at risk. Okay, the jab's gonna be some nice damage, but still a far cry from any kill setup here. Maybe a raindrop would do it, but I still think more damage needs to be done.
Watch the needles from ledge here. Okay, not going to happen. Ken going far back to the stage. Doesn't want that reversal. Tries to get some kind of defensive option, but Ken going to claim center stage with that spin dash.
Right. Good stuff by Webb, right? That's his reward because of those needles. You see that Ken now is playing back right from that ledge. So very important for him.
Ooh. Good choice to punish that with a down tilt and not with grab.
Ken just double jumping out of that situation here. Another great thing about needles as well, you can outright just beat Sonic spin dashing, but you can also catch the landing, and Sheik is quick, right? A lot of characters that can chase spin dash are good against Sonic. Well, she can do both. Can stop the spin dash at the charge and catch the landing with either needles or just the sheer speed. The up throw should do the trick here. And just like that, Ken's gonna finally get the first lead of this set on this game too.
I think the fact that Sonic can chip you out with a throw is so absurd, man.
Yeah.
Why?
This character is making you shield all kinds of blue spinny moves. Whoa, hold on, the grenade. Missing that ledge snap was huge there for Ken.
Yeah, got kind of lacking, and now we're sitting at 2 stocks apiece here.
Nice. Great air-to-air right there. It's so hard to also do that against spin dash. I know you want to like push a button too, coming down, but sometimes you whiff, you get hit, and you take what, 60%. Terrible situations to be in.
Good hit. All right, not gonna get a completion there on that up air. Just gonna get up air 1. Good jab. Good DI away there from Webb.
But I will say, I don't know how much experience Webb has in this matchup, and we know that Ken has a lot of experience, right? A good amount of Sheiks. I think Sheik in general in Japan, a lot of the region thinks Sheik is a strong character, right?
Yeah.
So just more popular than the States.
Yeah, I think in theory, bros, Sheik is definitely one of the best in the whole game.
Theory bros.
In real life, bros, It's a little shaky, but Webb, he's really coming close to delivering on the expectations some people have for Sheik.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you think Japan plays Theory Bros?
Like, their style is a lot more Theory Bros than ours.
Yeah. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't think necessarily their like expectations for the meta are unreasonable or like based on that, but like the style they embody is like they're going for that.
Yeah.
Is that
That's
like,
what they're thriving for. Right?
Is that like the counterplay to Japanese play styles? It's just like, oh, this is theoretically the best option, so I'm gonna choose one that's worse.
I think so, honestly.
I mean, yeah, that's like, really where they usually falter because it's like it's so like you just know what the game plan is, right? It's usually a bit more clear, even though it's a very strong game plan. But anything done in repetition is going to have a gap, right?
Yeah,
and that's kind of where we tend to see issues. And also, that's where we've seen some Japanese players do a lot better here versus when they're in Japan, because some of them do kind of play a bit more of how we play, more of the read base and stuff as well.
Yeah, NA plays with heart for sure.
Yeah,
and Japan plays pixel perfect to the best of their ability. Ken just running the same gameplay loop, spin dash to one side of the stage, wait for you to try to chase him, punish you if you messed it up, and then just rinse and repeat that.
Jay's beginning to rinse and repeat. Another one.
Oh, get it.
So
who cares? Tipper.
That was so good. I think you're totally right. The dynamic between like having the percentage max is just look at Ken chilling and WebbJP is like really trying to force interactions, but like still staying so far away to where like, okay, where are the needles? Like you really have to get Ken to like press a button or something, get to you from that far away.
Ken knows that you have to come to him. Needles or not, those are doing maybe 8-10% for a full stack. By the way, 81 seconds on the clock right now.
Yeah.
If he wants to, he can absolutely do this. Ken does not have to interact. If he can make Webb keep the chase up, he's either going to kill him in time, or there's no way he deals now, 90 damage.
Ooh.
Oh, hold up.
Wait,
though.
I almost got the second hit of bouncing
Yeah.
fish there. And man, I gotta say, just in neutral, Ken's doing a great job playing around needles, even if there is no double jump, but go for things like homing attack afterwards, because that's another way to stall and then attack, right? And just to keep your way outside of the needles here. Ken trying to close out this final stock, being a little bit more aggressive in terms of positioning.
Yeah. You're stalling out time, and the bear caught you underneath. Not gonna kill though.
All right, Webb, how can you do this in 40 seconds? Is it even possible?
I think it is.
With Great Sheik, it's 2 interactions, You need 2 really good interactions. The back air is not going to give those interactions to Webb, though. Ken sealing the deal, not even having to go for that time.
Right, and that's the thing about playing Sonic too, is like you can't find a solid interaction. Like you might be able to get a pot shot here and there, but you really are lucky to find like one good interaction. Like finding multiple that leads to like your win condition is hard against this character.
Exactly.
We also saw in these kind of situations, I think Sonic players are the most experienced when it comes to when the timer's like sub 1 minute, just how the character's played is what it is, right? But when you're in that situation, you're not necessarily playing to not get hit. You are playing to, you are the opponent and you're forced to make interaction. You're forced to approach me, so I'm gonna play around that. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to play to just not get hit. You don't have to go for the timeout, right?
Exactly.
And I think because like Webb wasn't as experienced in that, that's why we saw that game 5 versus Cola, right? Just really tried to play the last stretch to not get hit instead of like, okay, well, Cola's forced to approach me, so I can get openings, I can get that final hit. And we saw exactly that from Ken.
Yeah. Hey, when they come at you, you want to punish them for that because that extends your percent lead and secures your timeout window a little bit more.
You knock
Ken
them
knows
farther
that.
away, they have to come back to the stage. That's all time being taken
The
away.
game gets so fun when your opponent holds forward against you.
Right.
I know everything you're gonna do.
All right, here we go. Game 3. We saw each of them get their game plans to work out. In game 1, it was a lot of those up air drag downs and needles into up smashes, right? Like all the kill confirms were hitting for Webb. In game 2, Ken got the early lead and he never let it go. He has one right now, but it's much less sizable than what we saw in Hollow Bastion.
Yep, absolutely. Love the music though. We're on deck.
Yeah, Sheik
Battlefield's the pick here. Very interesting coming out from Webb. I feel like, I mean, the big blast zones, right? I feel like I don't see too much Sheik's counterpicking this stage, but Webb gonna seem like he's pretty comfortable with it. Maybe it's a matchup thing, maybe it's just a Webb thing.
Personal, yeah. Absolutely.
I think 3 chances, or really 2 chances to raindrop is nice.
Yeah, true. And then, I mean, maybe just having that top platform there to bouncing fish too, just having that mobility option, right?
What do you think about this stage as Sonic Bam? Like, I feel like this stage it's actually pretty good because you could just stay away from so many like bad situations because of the platforms.
Oh, 1000%. And it's funny too that actually the evolution of Sonic over time when it comes to platforms. Sonic used to hate platforms. They used to absolutely despise it. They wanted to play on FD all day, right? But then they realized, oh, surprise! If I hit you with a spin charge, a spin dash jump, and land on the platform, I have some guaranteed conversions into spring that I can do and literally can just kill you at like obscene percents, like 60, 70%, right? So a lot of them have learned to maneuver around that stuff a bit more, as well as, you know, using like wavelands and stuff out of aero spin charges. So I think it's a really good stage, good setup for Sonic. You can maneuver around. Also kind of limits when people are trying to approach you when you're in spins and you're just holding it. So just, again, more time being wasted.
Yeah, you have to excuse Sonic players. It took them a couple years just to figure out how to play neutral without spin dash shield, and then a couple more years afterwards to learn combo extensions.
Look where they're at now.
Yeah. Wow, he even uses empty hop grab now.
Yeah, crazy. Wait, I can do falling aerials into a platform, into more falling aerials, and then into a rising aerial. Crazy.
Oh, Ken getting that parry and no reward for it. Even still, yeah, first stock looking like it's going to go his way. It sure does. 81%, kind of far away from dying here.
That F tilt is so brutal too. It like hurtbox shifts so much forward that you think, oh, I can punish, but when it ends, they're so far away from you.
Yeah.
Spin dash forward air jab, just racking up this damage here. Webb, I feel like we're starting to see the life exit him.
Yeah, this is looking rough.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, Ken actually has been doing that all this weekend, right? Doing those forward smashes at the ledge, and I think because of game one has been way more reserved about that situation. But now Webb actually hasn't been showing any reversals at the ledge at all. I like that from Ken.
It feels like Webb is saving needles for the stock as well.
Yep.
I feel like we're not seeing the same, because when I watch a Sheik, the main thing I want to see is how you use needles, and I feel like Webb is using needles very different
very
from game
sparingly,
one.
man.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think it's conducive right now because you need to use. I think needles are in much more usage in this matchup to thwart the approaches and really like quite literally pin Sonic down, right? Like, no pun intended.
Right.
You want to make sure that he's not able to be super mobile so you can approach in the ways that you want to with Sheik and your amazing frame data and actually compete. When you're holding on to needles, you're taking that out of the repertoire for neutral, and now Sonic just gets to run amok, right? And that's kind of what we've been seeing from Ken.
I feel like the problem is that Ken doesn't have to do these ground level spin dashes toward Webb if he is in the lead. Right? We saw that game plan working out for Webb in game one because Ken was on the chase down, right? Then you can throw the needles to try to either whip punish him or preempt his approach. But right now, Ken's just spin dashing and then either faking him out or jumping over and resetting to the other side.
Yeah, and I think the stage also really helps Ken because if WebbJP decides to start throwing out more needles, like what if you stay on the platform? At that point, you're not really like in a threat zone for needles, and you don't even have to think about like approaching too because there's two platforms. You stay on the left or the right.
Yeah, it's very hard when you think about it because the more platforms you give Sonic access to, then needles it changes the dynamic of needles, right? And I think needles is the backbone of why she wins this matchup on paper.
100%. You just have to start hot because if you don't,
and
you get this.
Like Max said, the first stock is omega important.
Yeah.
Even the first like 50-60%.
Yeah.
Right.
It's everything, man. It's everything.
Both this game and the last one. Ken on the right foot to begin. So, I don't know, Webb, I mean, you could still make a couple big plays. It's technically doable, but, man,
eject button.
Just so hard to catch.
The spot dodge.
Oh, you hate those.
Damn.
Yeah,
I felt that one.
Yeah.
I'm so glad Ken's been doing that a lot more too. Just so much more confident with like the grounded tools rather than just like using spin dash or spin charge only.
Right.
Time to duff.
And it looked like Webb trying to go for a parry there, but just a tad bit of charge coming out from Ken. And Ken is doing a fantastic job of sealing out this stock. And like not even in a spin dash type of way, right? And again, just really shutting down the needle pressure.
Look at that,
such
man.
a great job.
Look at that,
duffed
bro.
in the face.
Why are you doing all that?
I think he knew that there's no way he was going to punish that from that range unless he parried.
Yeah.
That's probably a risk worth taking
Not
considering
today.
you got one stock, 130 damage.
I remember when I used to think Sonic forward smash wasn't the best forward smash in the game, but
Yeah.
I can't really think
also,
of
by the way,
yeah.
chat, that circle was for you. I know you guys didn't see the forward smash, so want to make sure I circled that, you know?
Oh, thanks, man.
Just in case you missed it.
Anytime, chat. I saw chat pretty excited about it, so I did that for you, bro.
That was the real hitbox, by the way.
absolutely.
You perfectly drew it.
Yeah, true.
That move is cursed.
straight from
gigantic.
Ultimate frame data.
Yeah. W.
All right, this time around, Webb winning that opening gambit here could be huge for him. Ken stuck to the ledge. He just can't get opened up. I mean, Sonic has great B&Bs at low percents, but of course, Sheik, really known for that. That's her calling card as a character. Oh no, this one reversal, so much damage.
That was just a two-piece.
Yeah, up air to back air doing like, what, 31 maybe?
Yeah, Ken's so good at recognizing the reversal situations at the ledge, recognizes when he can get a reversal, and recognizes when WebbJP could potentially get a reversal. He's been playing the ledge so well.
And Ken, even with so little space to work with here on Hollow Bastion, so good at avoiding everything Webb is trying to throw at him. Nice, the call on the spot dodge.
Okay, we were looking a lot better now. We're close. A great opportunity here for Needles. A little too preemptive, though.
Yeah, Ken just going to swing back right there. Forward air. So good at shaking them off you. Forward smash. Nice.
Okay, full rack of Needles here. We saw Webb use it previously for an edge guard attempt. Sonic and Sheik both very hard to edge guard.
Oh my God.
Wait, what?
He messed up. That was kind of hard.
Void actually mentioned that's a very hard vantage
Yes.
to do, where you creep onto stage, and there's a very specific angle where you can go back onto the ledge and you regain your intangibility because you touched the stage, but it's a really hard angle. Webb did it twice in tournament,
He did.
and Void was impressed. He was like, and Void's a technical player, and Void was like, I'd never do that last off tournament stock. And I mean, this is I think this is the first time this tournament we've seen Webb mess it up, but so still very impressive. But dang, this is losers bracket, man.
Yeah, I think on day one I saw him get a kill with it, and I was like, damn, that's really good.
No!
73 after the hit. Oh, Jersey, it might be Jover, boys.
Wait.
And the cross up, okay.
Okay, something.
Do you believe in Rage Sheik? That's what it really comes down to.
I definitely don't.
Because
Well then. Okay.
so that's what the Doomer vibes out there.
Dude, for Rage Sheik though, like anything can kill you. It's scary. And and a grab can kill. It's scary.
It's very, especially against a character like Sonic. Sonic is like the king of straight hits, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, Webb, for the first time, you are actually facing elimination right now. What are you made of? Do you have what it takes to make this insane comeback?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the directional air dodge getting back on stage. Webb not taking too much time, trading back and forth here with Ken. See if he can find out some kind of strategy. You got to dominate Ken 2 stocks in a row without losing this final stock here. This could well be the last stock for Webb in this tournament. For Watch the Throne here, he's had crazy performance, crazy close Game 5 scenarios with some of the best in the world. Would hate to see him go out like this.
Yeah,
I know, man.
I really like how confident WebbJP has been moving this whole time.
Yeah.
As I say that, he gets picked up by straight air, back air.
Damn, we didn't even get to see Rage Sheik.
Man.
The legendary Rage Sheik.
Yeah. Rage
He
Sheik
didn't
doesn't,
even go into his final form.
Rage Sheik doesn't exist.
I just feel like it's so easy to run out of steam against a character like Sonic, right? Especially when you're playing Sheik, who has to win so many interactions in every matchup she plays. Now you're fighting the character that, like, you get one hit per 20 seconds, right? You have to work so hard for it. And Ken, really the embodiment of that style.
Yeah, I really have to give it to WebbJP. Like, the amount of discipline it takes to play this matchup and still be willing to, like, press so many buttons, even though it hasn't been working out. Man, it's hard. It's hard to keep up with this character.
And the weak nair into back air. We saw the back air that killed him on his second stock criminally early. Sheik just doesn't have the durability, man. Like, this is definitely one of those characters that on paper is so good. But when it comes to the human element, you get punished extremely hard, man. I'll say it, I've been a Sheik doubter since day one of Ultimate. I love seeing the players make it work or try to make it work. But it's a tough life, man. When you sign up for that, tragedy is sure to follow.
When it works,
You ain't playing theories, bro.
I'm playing
Definitely
Human
not.
Bros.
Human Bros.
He's a human.
Hey, yo.
I'm not gonna lie.
I love that just analogy. I guess. It's so sick.